This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And a pleasant good morning to you. It is Tuesday, September 19th. I'm Ray Collins. Meteorologist John Scalzi now joins us with details of our Tuesday forecast. Hey, John.
Hi, Ray. Looks pretty good for us again today. I think it'll be very similar to yesterday. Maybe the winds won't be quite as strong. And out of the northeast kind of continuously today, there'll be a few scattered showers over on the other coast, but we stay dry. Taking a look at the satellite view right now, not a whole lot of action going on. We have a lot of starry skies out there, and it'll lead to a very sunny start to the day. Few showers over on the other coast. That's really about it. That's all Florida sees today. A few scattered showers over on the other coast and in the southern tip. We stay dry. We stay warm with the daytime high coming up near 90. The feels-like temperature will feel closer to about 100, but it could be much worse if the humidity were a little bit higher. So grateful for small things today, Ray.
It could be 110. You're right. All right. Thank you, John. Talk to you again soon about your forecast. There's the first alert traffic right now in Manatee County. Some bumps in the road there around 301 and State Road 70. Otherwise, all clear. Farther south, a few more spots of red in Sarasota County. You'll notice some issues along the Bayfront, Bee Ridge Road, also Clark Road, also the Stickney Point Bridge coming from the beach. A little slow down there already this morning. And South County all clear at 6:01 on this Tuesday morning. Our top story, President Trump's first speech to the UN today. The president will push for reforms to the UN and also address some of the biggest threats facing the world, including North Korea. ABC's Arlette Saenz has our preview.
President Trump front and center at the United Nations, set to deliver his first major speech to the world. The president previewed his message Monday, promising to make the United Nations great.
In recent years, the United Nations has not reached its full potential because of bureaucracy and mismanagement.
In his first speech to the UN General Assembly, senior administration officials say the president will call out Iran, North Korea, and Venezuela by name for their threatening behavior. No issue is dominating more than North Korea, as the U.S. rallies support for tougher action against the regime.
This will be a great week. We look forward to it. As far as North Korea is concerned, I think that most of you know how I feel.
Also in question, the fate of the Iran nuclear deal negotiated by President Obama.
Mr. President, do you plan to stay in the Iranian nuclear deal?
You'll see very soon.
In a lighter moment, as he met with the president of France, the commander-in-chief said he wants a grand military parade similar to the one he saw in Paris on Bastille Day.
We may do something like that on July 4th in Washington, down Pennsylvania.
When President Trump takes the podium this morning, many U.S. allies will be seated in that hall, but so will those adversaries he's calling out by name. In fact, North Korea's top diplomat has a front row seat for the president's speech. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
Meantime, Donald Trump Jr. asking the Secret Service for less protection and more privacy. As the son of a president, Trump Jr. is authorized but not legally required to have high-level security. Most recently, he asked to travel without protection during a family trip to the Bahamas in June. The Secret Service said for safety reasons they can't confirm who is currently receiving protection, but sources say the agency has pushed back on Trump Jr.'s request. Sean Spicer says he regrets his infamous clash with reporters over the size of the Inauguration Day crowd. The former White House press secretary is referring to what happened the day after President Trump's inauguration. The president sent Spicer into the briefing room to dispute the true size of the crowd. Well, side-by-side photos showed a larger gathering for Barack Obama's inauguration, but Spicer had to declare this was the largest audience to ever witness inauguration. Spicer said, of course, he regrets the entire confrontation. Developing overnight, 3 people are behind bars after protests erupt in Atlanta on the campus of Georgia Tech. The violence happened during a planned vigil for a 21-year-old student named Scout Schultz, who was killed by campus police over the weekend. A police car was set on fire and 2 officers were injured during the protests. Schultz was fatally shot by police. Now, cell phone video shows the officers repeatedly yelling at her to put down a knife and not to move. The video shows she still took a few steps forward before an officer opened fire. New developments in St. Louis now after more protests and vandalism led to the arrests of more than 120 people there. Protesters gathered last night for the 4th consecutive night in St. Louis. They're upset about the acquittal of a white police officer and the killing of a black suspect 6 years ago. The protests have been peaceful during the day, but taking a more violent turn at night. People were marching in downtown St. Louis, launching debris through windows and clashing with police. Authorities are now warning they plan on holding all criminals accountable.
We're in control. This is our city, and we're going to protect it.
The Justice Department has declined to pursue a federal civil rights case against the former police officer in the killing of that suspect. Conditions were so bad in St. Louis over the weekend that both the U2 and Ed Sheeran concerts were canceled for security reasons. 3 people are dead after a collision between 2 buses in New York City. Watch this video. Police say the crash in Queens killed a pedestrian on the sidewalk, a bus driver, and a passenger on the other bus. Now, the tour bus plowed into the front of a store. I think we're going to see it shortly. Firefighters say a small fire broke out in the building, but they were quickly able to put the flames out. 19 others were injured. Some are still in the hospital. Mayor Bill de Blasio says he is shocked by the sheer destruction left behind and says the crash seems to have come out of nowhere. See it. Now out to California, where unbelievably 2 people were able to walk away from a small plane crash north of San Diego. The plane lost power before crashing near an intersection. It began to leak fuel, but firefighters were able to stop that. 2 people were in the plane, but neither one of them were seriously injured, and thankfully, no one on the ground was hurt in this crash. Caught on camera, a small-town South Carolina mayor won't face charges after police pulled him over for a late-night joyride on a lawnmower. Horry County Sheriff deputies pulled over John Gardner after reports of him driving down a 2-lane road with an open beer can. When officers finally found him, he said he was just trying to get some gas for his mower. A Horry County spokesperson says officers didn't even file a police report. No word yet if this has an effect on his future as mayor in that town. Back here in Florida, Governor Scott is trying to prevent another storm-related tragedy from happening again. This after 8 people died at a rehab center in South Florida. Governor Scott directed the State Agency for Healthcare Administration and the Department of Elder Affairs to issue emergency rules over the weekend. Those rules would force nursing homes and assisted living facilities to have backup power systems to keep buildings at cooler temperatures and outages. Nursing home and health officials held an emergency summit in Tallahassee yesterday to discuss Scott's new directive.
Nursing homes are very proactive when it comes to emergency preparedness. They do disaster drills, they have emergency preparedness plans. We do a lot of continuing education at Florida Healthcare Association. So this is something that they're preparing for. No one could have seen the breadth of the size of Irma and what it would do.
Knapp says an upcoming meeting with the governor is expected to discuss nursing homes, utilities, generator supplies, emergency managers, regulators, and government officials. That should cover it. Florida Virtual School is helping out students across the state who are affected by Irma. Governor Scott announced today that Florida Virtual School will provide remote access to educational resources to all Florida students who were displaced by the storm. FLVS will also have access to digital educational materials to help the hardest hit school districts as they return to normal operations. So students who are interested should visit flvs.net to begin the process or email the agency for special accommodations. And if you are still without power due to Irma, you can now get some more direct answers. FPL customers in Sarasota County can now talk to a representative in person. They are inside a blue tent in front of Roberts Arena on Fruitville Road. You can ask them about the status of your outage and when you'll be restored. You can also call FPL at 800-468-8243. You can still see the aftermath of Hurricane Irma throughout our area, but some of the damage left behind cannot be seen. Some say they are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder after the hurricane, and local doctors say they are seeing an increase of patients with the mental illness. Kids and adults suffering from PTSD may suddenly become anxious, overreact to stress, or have trouble sleeping, but patients may not experience these symptoms for up to 6 months. Doctors say it's not out of the ordinary for someone to develop PTSD after a natural disaster like a hurricane.
We all made it through a horrible situation, and we wouldn't be human if we didn't have a reaction to it. So our reactions are normal.
Doctors suggest the best way to deal with these symptoms of PTSD or anxiety is to stay busy or talk to someone about your feelings, like a medical professional. Feeding Tampa Bay is delivering emergency supplies to Bradenton, South Tampa, and 2 other counties, providing people with ready-to-eat meals and water yesterday. These communities were selected because of their high rates of food insecurity and food access, which has worsened after Hurricane Irma.
When we opened at 12 o'clock today, we had about 1,000 people just lined up to get this food, and we only started advertising it this morning through our agencies and pantries.
The public is encouraged to donate time, money, or supplies to support Feeding Tampa Bay's efforts. You can learn more by going to feedingtampabay.org/Irma Relief. Lots of nonprofits are coming out of the woodwork to help victims here.
Absolutely. I guess it's going to be very difficult for a lot of the people who were expecting to have some jobs in the agricultural business.
Oh,
here
an issue
coming
there
up.
too.
It's going to be a really tough go for them.
And I kind of get the PTSD story too, because social media was really on fire before the storm. People saying things like, I am very scared, we're out of here.
Well, look, they should be. I mean, look at the days leading up to the actual track. You had the strongest storm on record in the Atlantic Basin. You had a storm that had more energy than all the other storms combined. You had the first Category 5 storm to hit Cuba. And you had track shifts all over the place. So it was a very stressful storm.
I've never locked my home and thought, fingers crossed, I'll see you again here.
Yeah.
Crazy thought, yeah.
We have some tranquil weather today, though. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Also ahead, first alert, traffic and school is back in session across the Suncoast after being out for a week after Hurricane Irma. We'll tell you what schools are doing to try and get back to normal after this.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna-Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Manasota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Manasota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Manasota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Manasota Flooring today.
Get the hottest deals of the year during the summer clearance event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. The all-new Chrysler Pacifica is the KBB 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner and was recently named Consumer Digest Best Buy Minivan for 2017. Get yours today for just $24,999 or get America's Best Value, a new Dodge Journey for as little as $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, Contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we look at an air temperature of 75 degrees and a dew point of 74. We have some fair weather clouds out there, but nothing in the way of any kind of rain showers, even approaching our area. 75 degrees, Wauchula, Arcadia at 74, 73, Myakka, Northport at 73, Venice at 74, Bradenton at 75. Few scattered showers over on the other coast, but they quickly die out as they make it on shore. Once you get rid of the water supply, these showers being so low topped have nothing to support themselves, so they just fizzle out. Locally, we don't expect to see much in the way of rainfall at any time today, be it the morning or be it the evening. I think we'll see pretty much clear sunny skies with only a few fair weather clouds throughout the day today. If you look at where the thunderstorms are across the nation, if you're traveling today, why, the northeastern corridor from the Delmarva on up into the tri-state region look all just fine, a little bit windy, and there will be some scattered showers around, but as far as any kind of thunderstorm impact goes, no, it's not going to happen there. The northern tier states have the biggest chance of seeing some inclement weather today, and the southern tip of the state of Florida might see a few scattered thunderstorms, but for us, we stay dry. We stay dry, we stay sunny, and we stay warm as well, no doubt about that. The RPM shows a few scattered showers down to the south, maybe a thunderstorm or two, but all very benign, non-severe kinds of storms. I think we'll probably see a better chance of some of those storms returning as we head into Thursday, Friday. By then, we'll start to see that high-pressure ridge perhaps move a little further eastward and our winds shift from northeast to southeast. That will be as Jose continues to lift northward and begin to dissipate. This frontal boundary will approach and eventually start to absorb Jose as it does kind of a circle out here in the Atlantic. High pressure builds in, and as it does that, our winds are directed out of the northeast. That's a dry wind for us, and we stay dry and sunny today and warm as well. Those are the weather highlights that carry you through today and through tomorrow, it looks like. So we still have two storms that we're concerned with. Jose, of course, is a Category 1 storm now, giving parts of the northeast a little bit of an issue with rain showers, but particularly some gusty winds right along the immediate coastline, and especially the further north you go up into coastal Massachusetts. Plus, you're seeing some higher surf, and you're seeing some rip currents and coastal erosion, that sort of thing. But it could have been much worse, certainly. This storm, Jose, forecast to stay off the American coastline. And then there's Maria. Now a Category 5 storm, 160-mile-an-hour winds. It regained intensity after moving over Dominique and is on a line that should take it very close to Puerto Rico as at least a Category 4 storm, possibly even retaining major storm characteristics. We'll be watching over the weekend as it begins its turn north on a present forecast track and computer model simulations. It stays away from the state of Florida and, in fact, out in open waters of the Atlantic, so that would be a great thing. Forecast for us calls for a nice day on the waters with winds subsiding a bit in the afternoon, north at about 15, becoming north at about 10. A little later on, that'll bring you a moderate chop. And the forecast calls for warm temperatures through the period and increasing chances of rainfall, especially on the first day of fall, which is going to occur on Friday. I'm ready for it, Ray.
Yeah, the day after is the first day of the rowing competition, so let's watch the weather for that as well. Here's the roads right now in Manatee County. Nothing to speak of at this hour. Let's check farther south now. In Sarasota, a little blip there at the 41301 apex. Also Bee Ridge, some issues in the eastbound lane. Also Stickney Point Bridge is very sticky right now for some reason, not sure why. Otherwise, all clear South County, 619 on this Tuesday morning, and school is back in session. Students were out for a week after some of the schools were used as hurricane shelters. Our Dwayne Lindo has a closer look.
I really want to cut down all my trees now in my backyard.
It's been a week since Hurricane Irma made its presence felt on the Suncoast. And for Sarasota resident Michelle Matuzak, she's seen this type of damage before.
Unfortunately, this is the second time for me. It happened 16 years ago in the previous hurricane.
But this time around, she has 2 kids, one attending Southside School and the other Sarasota School for the Arts and Sciences. These trucks have been rolling down Matusik Street, but she's still without power and dealing with damage from an uprooted tree. With all of that, she says getting her kids prepared to go back to school was challenging at best.
Felt like it was the first day of school again. You just had to get regroups, lunch is ready.
And parents will have a little help getting their children fed. Not only will free breakfast be available, but lunch as well. A program Matusik says will help many parents.
I'm sure it's made a huge difference. There's still a lot of people without power. Everyone's had to throw away their entire refrigerators.
This gives them the food that they need for a healthy lunch and a healthy breakfast so those kids can learn.
According to Brookside Middle School principal Matthew Gruhl, it's a blessing for his students. And despite the stories of some being displaced from homes, he says they're doing well given the circumstances.
It's interesting how students are coming and asking how we're doing as adults. So they are very resilient. We welcomed them all in. We were standing outside as they were coming in, asking them how they were doing, waving at their parents, letting them know everything's great.
All right, back to reality. Still heading Good Morning Suncoast. 2 men shot in apparent racially motivated shootings. I'll tell you how Baton Rouge police now say the shootings are connected after this.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Discover all the reasons the experts love Subaru during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $189 a month, or get 0% financing. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
There's a pretty shot of the Ringling Causeway as traffic starts to build from Lido Key, heading east toward the Bayfront. Intercoastal waterway there. Beautiful shot, the lights off the water. If you've got any good pictures you want to send them this way. I had someone send me some pictures yesterday of some great aerial photos of Siesta Key, also Longboat as well. And I've posted those on my page. So go to Ray Collins, ABC7 on Facebook, like the page and check out those pictures, and feel free to send your own as well. 6:25 right now. Police in Baton Rouge are closer to an arrest after 2 apparent racially motivated killings. ABC's Pierre Thomas shows us how investigators are now linking these 2 shootings.
In this morning's first look, 2 middle-aged black men apparently randomly shot within hours at locations only 5 miles apart. Tuesday, September 12th, around 10:30 p.m., 59-year-old Bruce Cofield is discovered on this street suffering from gunshot wounds. He dies at the scene. Not far away, and only 2 days later, at roughly the same time of night, 11:08 p.m., Donald Smart, 49, is found lying in the street, also suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Smart, on his way to a job at a local diner, also dies at the scene.
When I got here, there was a guy laying on the ground. He'd been shot multiple times. I heard about 10, 11 shots.
As far as this potentially being a hate crime,
we're looking at other motives, but that's definitely on the table.
And we'll have more on the investigation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Pierre Thomas, ABC News, Washington.
Hey, honey. How's practice?
Good.
Must have been hot out there today, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you go put that stuff in the laundry room right now?
Okay.
Do your athletes bring home big odors?
Oh.
Tide Sport is super concentrated to beat even the toughest stains and odors.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Ooh, somebody ran laps.
Yeah. The new Tide Sport collection. It's gotta be Tide.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wannabe Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the talcum powder hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, a 14-year-old boy disappeared in North Sarasota over 2 weeks ago. We'll talk to his anxious mother. The mayor of Venice is angry at Sarasota County for its lack of hurricane shelters in his cities. We'll hear from him directly. And the latest on power outages across the Suncoast, those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning, Tuesday, September 19th. I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're with us. Should be a nice day. Let's get the forecast from our first alert meteorologist, John Scalzi. Hi, John.
Good morning, Ray. Looking at a nice day today. Beautiful start to the day with a lot of sunshine in store for you this morning and little chance of rainfall. We'll have a daytime high that'll top out again warm, coming in near the 90-degree mark, and there's very little in the way of any kind of rainfall forecast for the afternoon either. We have some showers over on the other coast, but those showers will not be a bother to us. We'll look for daytime highs that top out near the 90-degree mark with a feels-like temperature closer to 100. Complete forecast coming up for you in a moment, Ray.
All right, talk to you soon. Checking first alert traffic right now. Some slowdowns on 301 in both directions in Manatee County. Otherwise, all clear in Manatee. Farther south into Sarasota, little blips on the screen there, both on Fruitville and Bee Ridge, both in the eastbound lanes. Also, again, Stickney Point Bridge coming from the beach to 41 is for some reason congested there right now. Not exactly sure why. And South County mostly clear at 6:32 on your Tuesday morning. Topping our news this half hour, a search is on for a 14-year-old Newtown boy who's been missing now for over 2 weeks. Our Rick Adams spoke with the boy's mother.
It's a parent's worst nightmare, having your child vanish off the face of the earth. Tawana Span's 14-year-old son Jabez has been missing now since September 4th. Span, her boyfriend, and other family members are pleading for information to find him and hopefully a safe return home.
If there's anybody that know anything, like, don't just let him, if something happens, don't just let him just be out there like that.
Jabez was last seen playing near his grandmother's house in the 1500 block of 23rd Street in Sarasota. The Sarasota Police Department are following all leads and asking the community for their assistance.
We have done searches, grid searches. We have tried pinging his phone. We have followed up leads. At this point, we know and believe that there are people within our community that has information about this young man and his whereabouts.
In fact, the ping to Jabez's cell phone tracked it to an undisclosed wooded area near Sarasota, but police weren't able to find the phone or any evidence of him being there. And one of the ways the community is trying to help is they're going door to door and store to store with flyers like this. Groups are now going out daily, handing out hundreds of these flyers with the hopes they get in the hands of somebody who knows something.
This is another opportunity for the community to come together and to support one another, to show love, to collaborate, to do what's right.
Jabez Span is described as a bright teen who is very athletic. He is between 5 feet 7 inches and 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 120 to 130 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a turquoise shirt.
Somebody got to know something. Somebody has to know something where this boy is.
In Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Police in Northport trying to figure out what caused a deadly ATV crash over the weekend. Police say 41-year-old William Schumacher crashed early Sunday morning. Police say he ran off the road and struck a palm tree. He was rushed to the ER in Northport, but later pronounced dead. Now to a dispute over hurricane shelters in Venice. The mayor is quite angry the county didn't think a shelter was needed there. So the city opened the community center, and within hours, 400 evacuees rushed in. That was capacity. The county says they shouldn't have done that. The city shouldn't have, because the center is in a storm surge zone at only 13 feet of elevation. But ABC7 discovered the building is actually rated similar to other shelters that did open and is actually at 19 feet of elevation.
They want the city to cease and desist. Well, then do something. Get out there and do something before we have another season like we have this year.
Well, Sarasota County later admitted they were wrong. The wrong elevation is listed on the file. County Commissioner Charles Hines said the matter should be looked into in the coming months. Also in Venice, debris removal starts tomorrow on all city-maintained roads. Contractors are prioritizing removal based on areas hit hardest by the hurricane. Residents are asked to place debris on the public right-of-way and to separate debris to make it easier for crews to haul it away. Meantime, questions about what to do with sandbags used during Hurricane Irma. Thousands of you got free sandbags to stop flooding. Now, Sarasota County wants to make sure you're disposing those properly. Dumping them into storm drains is banned by the county. It can cause storm drains to block and result in simply more flooding. The amount homeowners and businesses pay for fire service in Sarasota County could soon be going up. The Sarasota County Commission discussed possible changes to fire assessments last night. The county has used assessments to pay for fire protection services for more than 20 years, but due to continued growth in our area, the way these fees are implemented is changing once again, and how much you pay depends on what type of property you own. For example, a single-family home would increase by about $6 a year. A multifamily house, or condo rather, could see a decrease of about $10, and a small business would increase by about $100 a year. Stay tuned. And in the wake of Irma, the costs are mounting for the local agricultural industry. A big problem for farms in Sarasota Manatee has been restricted access to water due to power outages. Manatee County's citrus industry is facing over $2 million in lost revenue, and those farming other crops like tomatoes and peppers could see a 50% drop in yield this year. Palmetto-based grower West Coast Tomatoes says it is replanting about 15% of their 2 farms in Manatee County.
We know that it won't be a normal crop. It'll probably be a crop that's probably down 20 or 30% in volume. So we'll keep working on the plants and do our best to get them through to harvest.
Officials say it could be a few more weeks before the full damage assessment is complete for our area. So many ancillary issues happening in the wake of the storm like that.
Oh, absolutely. You know, also in previous storms, we've seen a spread of citrus canker as it's been picked up by winds and spread around. So perhaps that will be the case with this one too. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, a big growing event, a big event this weekend on Saturday. Weather look okay for that?
Yeah, I think so. We have some scattered showers and storms around. I mean, pretty typical for this time of year. But no storms brewing so far, so knock wood. Everything looks pretty good for the event. We'll have the forecast for you in a minute.
Also still ahead, John, latest in Suncoast First Alert traffic. And what if there was a single shot that had all the basic vaccines your child needs in one injection? We'll have a story on the way.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork for free, and best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Don't let chronic lower back pain slow you down. Get moving and stay active with a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost. We also accept Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, and other insurance. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare? Find out for free.
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-715-0835. That's 1-800-715-0835, 1-800-715-0835.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperatures are pleasant outside right now. They're not terribly warm, 75-degree air temperature, and a dew point coming in at 74. Temperature and dew point are pretty close together, though, so there is a slightly thicker feel to the air today than there was 24 hours ago when our dew point was closer to the 70 mark. We're starting to slowly moisten the atmosphere, but it'll still be another dry day with drier air aloft, limiting the number of showers that we get. A few fair weather clouds, northeast wind at 3. Wauchula coming in at 75, 74 in Arcadia, 73, Mayaca, 73 in Northport, 73 in Venice, 75 degrees in Bradenton, and Parrish comes in at 74 as well. The reason for the cloud, the little bit of cloud that we have across the region, is the showers over on the other coast. And we get some blow-off cloud cover from those from time to time, but nothing that's going to produce any rainfall for you. Your morning commute should be just absolutely A-OK, and the commute home tonight should be just fine too. Only a few scattered showers, no thunderstorms at this hour. I think we'll probably see a thunderstorm or two popping up later in the day in the southern tip of the state particularly, but locally, I think our evening radar is going to look an awful lot like this morning radar, which is clear of any echoes whatsoever. If you look across the nation and you're traveling today, well, Texas might see a few thunderstorms that could be a problem, especially as you get back into interior sections. And then up toward the northern tier states, Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport could have some airport delays because of thunderstorm activity there. And then in the Dakotas, that's where the bullseye for severe weather is across the nation. Otherwise, standard thunderstorms stretching from the Ohio Valley into the heartland, back up into the northeast. There'll be some scattered rain showers, not thunderstorm activity, but rain showers along coastal regions from really Montauk, Nantucket, down through New York into Jersey Shore, down south toward the Delmarva, all associated, of course, with Jose. Locally, just a few scattered thunderstorms in the very southern tip of the state, all of them non-severe. So if you're heading to Miami today, shouldn't be a big problem. The future cast here shows a few scattered showers around, down around Miami, Lauderdale, and down through the Florida Keys, but otherwise, nothing strong, nothing that's atypical for this time of year. We continue to watch Jose. Jose still hanging on to Category 1 hurricane status. Probably over the next 24 hours or so starting to weaken, maybe becoming a tropical storm, and then eventually just a remnant low as we head into the weekend. A trough of low pressure is advancing in that direction. It's going to help interrupt the flow of Jose, but still in the meantime, we've got some 75-mile-an-hour winds around the core, and that is kicking up showers along the coastline, as well as some heavy surf and rip currents, and just creating issues in general, especially as you head further to the north and get into some of those islands of Massachusetts. Montauk, Nantucket, all seeing good chances of tropical storm force winds today, with perhaps some gusts as high as 60, 70, maybe 80 miles per hour. Down further to the south, we are looking at quiet conditions across Florida as high pressure builds in and provides us with some pretty tranquil conditions. Don't really see much here other than a northeast wind flow bringing us a few fair weather clouds from convection that might occur over on the other coast. A warm afternoon, mostly dry once again, and sunny skies. So 2 storms we continue to watch. One, Jose. Jose, as I was talking about, 75-mile-an-hour winds drifting north and kind of dissipating as it does so. More on that in a second. And then Maria, that's our big storm, a Category 5 major hurricane, 160-mile-an-hour winds, moving in a direction that'll take it extremely close to Puerto Rico, if not right over top of Puerto Rico, and as a major hurricane, at least a Category 4, perhaps stronger. It then over the weekend starts to lift northward, perhaps bypassing the Bahama Island chain, missing the state of Florida, and hopefully recurving out into open waters of the Atlantic. That would be an ideal scenario, and one that computer models have been suggesting for some time now is going to happen. On about Wednesday, we'll start to see Jose begin to move a little bit further away from the coastline of the United States and then begin this loop-de-loop, which will eventually just sort of lead to its demise. The forecast model tracks for Maria show it going right over the islands, and then all of them pretty much in agreement that it lifts to the north, staying away from Florida, and then moving out into the open waters. Hopefully these tracks, which have shifted a little bit further to the east today, will continue to verify, and the storm will not be a major issue for the United States. Fingers crossed. North wind coming in at about 15, switching to about 10 knots later in the day. Moderate chop on bay and inland waters. And the official Suncoast forecast calling for lovely weather over the next several days, with daytime highs in the 90s and increasing rain chances toward the weekend. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. Traffic building in Manatee County, particularly around US 301, heading southbound around State Road 70. Farther south now into Sarasota County, you'll see some delays on 41 southbound heading toward the Bayfront. Also 41 after you get past the 301 split there. And then farther south, a couple blips on the screen, nothing major on US 41 in both directions. In this morning's Health Smart, encouraging news for kids who don't like to get a lot of those vaccines, and who does. Researchers at MIT have developed technology that could allow childhood vaccines to be combined into a single injection. It would be for polio, measles, mumps, rubella all at once. The idea, one shot would inject microscopic capsules of vaccine, and those capsules would break down and release their contents at different times. It is still in the testing stage. The more we age, the thinner our skin gets. The Cleveland Clinic says it's due to sun damage. Over time, exposure to the sun breaks down elastin, which are the fibers in your skin that allow it to stretch and return to its normal position. Those fibers can heal, but eventually they lose their ability to repair completely. Thin skin usually starts to appear when you're in your 40s. Luckily, there are ways to prevent it. Stick to the shade, stay out of the sun as much as possible, and to protect your skin when you're in the sun. Also, keep your skin well hydrated with a good moisturizer, which helps prevent injury that creates or worsens thin skin. And finally, make sure your moisturizer contains alpha or beta hydroxy acid, which can help lubricate and also plump your skin. And we all want plump skin, right? Entertainment news now, a major honor for a movie you've probably never even heard of, plus the return of a singer you probably have heard of. David Daniel has today's Hollywood Minute.
Why did you put up these billboards? My daughter Angela was murdered 7 months ago. It seems to me the police department is too busy torturing black folks to solve actual crime.
The hell is this? A dark, profane comedy may have just grabbed an inside track to the Oscars. 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, starring Frances McDormand as a woman who goes to unusual lengths after police fail to find her daughter's killer, has won the Audience Award at the Toronto Film Festival. Movies that have received that honor in years past include Oscar winners 12 Years a Slave, The King's Speech, and La La Land.
I'm never gonna let you close to me, even though you mean the most to me. 'Cause every time I open up, it hurts.
We're still waiting for Grammy winner Sam Smith's new album, but in the meantime, he's released a video for his latest single, Too Good at Goodbyes. The romantic ballad is his first new song since his Oscar-winning James Bond theme, Writings on the Wall, in 2015.
Oh, well, I'm Pennywise the Dancing Clown.
Digging into Pennywise's past, Bill Skarsgård, who plays the killer clown in It, tells Variety he shot a scene that was cut from the hit horror film, a flashback to the 1600s, which he called very disturbing. A follow-up to it has yet to be officially announced, but is in active development, and Skarsgård says we might see the scene in the sequel. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Up next, your top local news headlines, and a popular zoo gets its next male gorilla. We'll tell you why this new tenant means so much after this.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
Discover all the reasons the experts love Subaru during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Right now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
It's Willamania at the Players Center as the Will Rogers Follies takes the stage September 27th. Part homespun humor and part Ziegfeld Follies, this toe-tapping Tony Award musical is the start of our wild Broadway series. So call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You need to catch Willamania.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
Forty Carats Family Center presents a free speaker event, The Whole Brain Child, featuring world-renowned neuropsychiatrist and author Dr. Dan Siegel at Riverview High School Auditorium on Tuesday, October 3rd at 7 p.m. RSVP required at 40carats.org.
There it is, the signature span that connects Lido Key to the mainland. A lot of cars starting to come back and forth right now as you awaken on this Tuesday morning. Dawn breaking there, a little peak of sun. The top right corner of your screen. Should be a nice day. We'll have John's forecast in just a few seconds here. Here are the top stories making headlines as you wake up this morning. The mayor of Venice is angry at Sarasota County for not providing a shelter during last week's hurricane. The city then opened its own community center hours before the storm hit, which promptly filled to capacity. FPL says all power should be restored by tomorrow in the area. At one point, over 200,000 were in the dark after Irma. And the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is passing out those blue tarps for those with minor roof damage. They've set up a table this week in Bee Ridge Park. Checking first alert traffic, State Road 64 looking quite busy now in the westbound lanes in Manatee County. Otherwise, the usual backups on 301. Checking farther south now into Sarasota County. We'll see if those things yeah, the Bayfront still quite congested in the southbound lane as you pass by the Sailor and Nurse statue and O'Leary's in that section heading toward the 301 Apex. South County, a few spotty spots. Wait.
That's why that works.
I was doing so well, too. All right, let's go to first alert weather. John, take it away.
Well, it looks pretty good. Weather-wise, the weather looks wonderful. We have a daytime high that tops out about 90. We'll have a feels-like temperature that tops out at about, well, upper 90s. And we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. Not much in the way of any kind of a rainfall chance today or tomorrow. Inland, you might see an isolated shower over the next several days, but really rain chances start to go up midweek.
All right, say hello to Mishindi, the newest tenant at the Cincinnati Zoo. He's also the zoo's first male gorilla since Harambe. Now, who's Harambe? That was the other gorilla who was shot by zoo officials last year after a 3-year-old boy climbed in the enclosure. That was very controversial. So this 29-year-old Western lowland silverback came from the Louisville Zoo, still has an accent. Officials say he was chosen based on genetics, personality, and social needs. And officials say he's doing quite well now at his new digs in the Cincinnati Zoo.
So majestic, those
Aren't
animals are just beautiful.
Huge, very peaceful. 6:56, thanks for joining us. Our next news at 7:25. Enjoy your Tuesday. We leave you now with a shot of the Ringling Causeway, perhaps? Yeah, there it is.